Hi, and welcome back to Purposeful Woman. And today we have Beth Osmer. And Beth Osmer is a spiritual empowerment guide who has helped thousands of individuals across the planet to let go of their past and live a more potent and power-filled life. Beth is centered in San Francisco and works with the groups of individuals both digitally and in person. Hi, and welcome, Beth.
Hi, thanks for having me, Victoria.
Thanks for coming on. And as always, I would love to hear your story. How do you do what you do? I know you're also you use a lot of shamanic tools in your work, and that is very intriguing. So,
Yes, okay. So, what led me to doing the work that I do today is the way I started out life. So, I started out life in a very deep initiatory process. What I mean by that is I had a lot of loss, a lot of abuse, and a lot of dysfunction. It's like if we choose our life, which I believe we choose our life, we choose our parents, we choose everything, that somehow I was like, okay, sign me up for losing both of my parents, sign me up for a lot of abuse, sign me up for addiction and alcoholism. I mean, I went through it all. By the time I was 5, I had lost both of my parents. So I went from one dysfunctional, abusive home to the next. So what that did was brought me into very deep like self-destruction. It brought me into alcoholism. It brought me into addiction. It brought me into poor choices in relationships, just incredibly low self-esteem. And what ended up happening was at 28, I was drinking a lot, like all day. I was like in it really deep. And I didn't have a like intense bottom. I wasn't like getting DUIs or anything. My bottom was that I felt like crap all the time. And I was hanging around people that didn't have my best interest at heart. I was depressed and sad and in a job I didn't want to be working in forever. And I had this voice, like I just had this moment at work. I was waiting tables and I was actually trying to figure out how I was going to manipulate the bartender to give me a drink, which was like my motive. Like, how do I manipulate? How do I get what I want? How do I do this? Because I was so broken and like so hollow inside. And then I just got this like sense and I got this voice of like, what are you going to do? You're 28 years old. Are you going to continue doing what you're doing, or are you going to start cleaning your life up? Because I was always looking to the outside for someone to come save me, a boy, a job, money, mourning the loss of my parents. I was always looking for someone to save me. And I had to learn like, it's going to be me or it's going to be no one. So that week I told my therapist I have a drinking problem, and she didn't know, which kind of blew my mind. And I asked her to help me get into rehab, and I went into rehab. I did it all on my own, got sober, did a 28-day program, and I've been sober for the most part since. That was, I don't even know, 20 years ago or something. And that is what started me down my healing path. That's what started me down this path of, it took me years, a few years, just to really work on myself. I even went to SLAA, Sex, Loves, and Addicts Anonymous. I wasn't a sex addict, but I was always looking for love in the wrong places, like always looking for love, always manifesting the same person in a different body like this. And it was like not working. So I did that program, and then I met my husband. And then I started to realize, I knew I always had spiritual gifts. Like I'm a natural psychic, I'm a natural channel, I'm a natural intuitive. And I always knew that. Like I've always been fascinated by past lives and mystics and shamanic work. Like it's just comes to me very naturally. But once I started sobering up, and not only sobering up drugs and alcohol, but sobering up from my wounding, from my past, like letting my past go, then I started working with a shamanic teacher for a couple of years, one-on-one, and really going deep. The shamanic work, what I love about it is it's soul work. It's, therapy is great, but it keeps you in your mind. where the shamanic work gets you deep, deep into your being, deep into your soul. So I was able to like really work on deep, deep patterns and have shifts instead of like shifting in the mind. I was shifting in my body. I was shifting in my soul. I was shifting in my way of being. So then I started studying shamanism, hypnosis, energy medicine for 4 years, and then started working with clients. And I've been working with clients for about 18 years. And I did a lot of one-on-one work, and now I'm moved into groups and teaching classes. And it's incredible, powerful. And the reason I do the work is because I know that it, quote unquote, works. Like if you do the work, if you put your time into healing yourself, I know it works. And what I feel like is missing, and it's coming back, I feel like it's coming back into our society and into our world, but what has been missing is people think the outside, getting the degrees, and that stuff is important. Yes, getting the degrees, getting the man, getting the woman, getting the person, getting the house, all that, it's all important and valid. But what's been missing is our soul work. What's been missing, I mean, therapy has had a bad rap. Oh, only crazy people do that, or woo-woo people go there, or, you know, it's been like, there's all this programming around it, but it's coming back through the pandemic where people are realizing that it's time to return to the sacred ways of being, that it's time to return back home. And this outside stuff doesn't make us happy. It doesn't fulfill us. But if we can do the inside work, then we can start to manifest true happiness, true joy, true abundance on the outside. So I pay what I've learned forward to other people because I see how powerful it is. So that's what's led me to what I'm doing. And it's incredible work.
Wow, that is such a long journey and rich journey that I would say.
Long
My
journey.
parents, long journey and very rich, if I can say in this sentence. And I'm loving it that you are paying forward because a lot of, we can do the work and then we're like, oh, it doesn't work. It'll like not keep going at the same time, and it just stops the cycle. It just stops the energy flow, and I'm really in love with that. So what is it? I know you're helping people to release pain from the past, to be powerful in the present, which what people usually come to you, who you're working with, and how do you work
It's
with them?
evolved. Yeah, thank you. It's evolved over the years. I used to attract a lot of people that were like me, very wounded, that needed a lot of cleaning out of the past. And everybody still does. None of us are perfect. Like it's an ongoing journey. And I sat a lot with people one-on-one, going with them and deep into their stories and releasing the pain and the trauma. And we did a lot of that now in the past. And now I'm working with people that are ready to up level their spiritual path, who are ready to pop in their power, that are ready to basically be warriors, like spiritual warriors in the world, where they're not being a victim to their past, and they know they've got things that are going on. For sure, we all do. I mean, the work never ends in a human body. Like none of us are enlightened. Like we are not, I'm not Jesus, I am not Buddha, I'm a woman who's dedicated to healing. So I'm those people, the people I'm attracting now and working with now are mainly women who are really ready to ignite their gifts, ignite their spiritual gifts, ignite their power. And it doesn't have to look like the work I'm doing or like the work you're doing. I mean, you could be a nurse or a doctor or work at corporate or be a mom and still step up into your spiritual leadership and still like rock it out in your life and not have to live in a place of peace and being grounded and relaxed and connected. And so these are the people that I'm working with, like those that are really ready.
So what is the number one problem they're coming to you with? Like what will be like the top three signs that I get to do the work? Let's say it this way.
I get a lot of people that I've been calling, they're saying when I talk to them, they're getting what I call the call from the angels or the email from the angels, where they know they have a bigger purpose. They know they have spiritual gifts. They know they have all of these gifts, but they don't know how to open them up. They don't know how to ignite them. Or they question themselves and they self-doubt it. Is this real? Is my intuition, am I hearing it correctly? It's like people that know it but are not acting on it because they think they're either crazy or they're doubting it or they just don't trust themselves yet, but they're beginning to get the nudge that they know. And so the like pain point is, I know I'm meant for something more. I know this is that I'm not living my true purpose. I know I'm not in my true power, but I just don't know how to get there yet. Or people who have like, that still have things that are hanging on from their past programming that's telling them they're not good enough, or telling them that they have to be a certain way. I'm seeing a lot of like business women who are in corporate or lawyers or doctors, and they're like, how did I get here? Like, I did all the right things, but I'm still not happy because there's something missing in my soul, something I'm not honoring within myself. So that tends to be the people that are coming in now. And I love working with driven people that are ready to also connect to their power in a very, very deep way.
So will be could you give an example or tool how people that are in this place and let's say they're not ready to hire somebody to work with them, what they can do to shift it, to take a step to that direction?
They can begin, like, honestly, begin working. You can begin working with a practitioner, begin reaching out, finding a community. Like right now we are I think we're too isolated, even though we're on an online world. We need community now more than ever. And begin looking honestly at yourself, begin watching your thoughts, begin watching the thoughts that guide your reality, and begin to see what's working and what's not working in my life. And where am I still holding on to something from my past that's not working? Where am I giving my power away? This is a really powerful question. When you start to look at, am I giving my power away to my husband? Am I giving my power away to my boss? Am I giving my power away to my neighbor because they piss me off all the time? Am I giving my power away when I'm driving because I get angry and I have road rage? I mean, beginning to look at all of the ways that you give away your sacred energy or your power is incredibly eye-opening. And then from there, you can make a mindful choice to stop. Like, I take my power back. I own my power. I call my power back from my husband. I call my power back from my wife. I call my power back. When I drive, I'm peaceful. And just beginning to have that intention it's a great start of being aware of like what we're doing. Because, we're also often in a hypnotic state. We just kind of walk around and we don't know what we're, oh God, I drove 20 miles. I don't even remember what I thought about.
Wow. Wow, that's powerful. It's like, do you remember when you're driving what you're thinking about once you get there? I've never even thought about it.
No, we're
That's
all like in
crazy.
a hypnotic state when we're driving. It's
Yeah. It's like
scary.
a meditation. I love driving. I remember when I was 18 and I just got my first car, I was doing like 50 kilometers in Moscow, just like driving around. And I love it. It just gives me that like meditation state because you're moving. And that's like you're walking or you're driving. And that's crazy. Wow. I've never thought about thinking what I was just thinking while I was driving.
Most don't, but then we automatically react. Oh, there's a stop sign. We're programmed to react to, oh, stop, go, green is go, red is stop. But we're not, a lot of the times we're not present, I don't think.
So, how can we get present? What
Get
will be
in.
the exercises?
Yeah. So one of the things, I mean, in the morning, one of the things you can do is really just being super intentional in your thoughts. Really, really, I mean, our thoughts drive everything. Like, if you are watching your thoughts, you'll know where your soul is, where your spirit is, where your journey is. And really, really watching your thoughts begin to help. Doing grounding meditations, even if it's 5 minutes a day. I mean, a grounding meditation be as simple as like sitting down and just doing nothing, or going for a walk and keeping your phone off of you. I mean, because we all have our phones with us constantly. Like, taking the time to ground and taking the time to just be with yourself is incredibly powerful. And then some people have a really hard time even like Viktoriia, like being by themselves for 5 minutes in a room with no distractions, because then you get to hear yourself, but like really beginning to meet yourself in a new way, ground, watch your thoughts, be incredibly mindful. And people are like, well, what do you mean by mindful? Watch what you do. Your actions matter, your thoughts matter, and your patterns matter. Are you treating yourself well? How do you talk to yourself? How do you talk to the people around you? Because that will show you where you are in your relationship to yourself. So I think awareness is the first start. And then if you do have a spiritual practice or you do have a meditational practice, the honestly beginning to look, even going deeper at the places where you're not honoring your personal power, like taking it a step further.
Mm-hmm. Great. I love it. And I know that you have such an amazing gift, which is a grounding meditation for us
Yes.
today. Is that right?
Yes, yes. I recorded this. I was actually at a shamanic retreat learning a whole new shamanic tradition. And I was sitting up against this tree. It was called the listening tree, and it had this big ear on it. And I was looking over these mountains. And so you can hear the birds in the background. And we added music. And it's one of my favorite meditations that I've recorded. It's incredibly, I believe it goes through the chakras, each chakra, and it's grounding, but the energy of that mountain and the tree I was in. So you can access it with Viktoriia on her page, and then it's bethosmer.com/free gift, wait, /free dash gift slash. It's very,
So it's a Beth Osmer,
thank
which is
you.
BETHOSMER.com/free dash gift.
Thank you. You're a
Okay.
genius.
So what is it also? I'm curious, you say that you're working with the energy medicine and like shamanic tools. What does that even mean?
So shamanism is one of the most ancient forms of healing in the world. It's old. I'm not a shaman. I would never call myself a shaman, but I call myself a shamanic practitioner because I use the tools of shamanism. So the shamanisms we go between the spirit world. We're able to navigate between the ordinary reality and non-ordinary reality and access help with the nature spirits, the guides, the angels, and we're able to go in between the worlds. And not only that, it's what I love about shamanism is it is an accessible tool to get people connected with their own spirit guides. It's such an amazing tool. And the tools in shamanism get so deep on a soul level, so deep that people have had miraculous healings from deep shamanic work. It's incredible. So it goes past the thinking mind and supports people in opening up because we are spiritual beings. We live in the 3D, but we are way more than that. And shamanism opens all of that up and is able to heal on a deep soul level. And the energy medicine piece is like learning how to manage your energy. We are energy. I mean, this computer's energy, your energy, even though we're on the online world, we feel people's energy. We're all energy masters. And when you begin to learn how to manage your energy, I have a lot of energy. And the reason I have a lot of energy is because I manage my energy. I keep my aura nice and strong. I watch and monitor my chakras. I can watch where I'm giving away power. I mean, it's not perfect, but I watch my thoughts, and I can be very judgmental and very like, I'm fiery. So I have to watch myself and like keep myself in check. And where am I leaking my power? Where am I leaking my energy? And by doing that, it keeps me, for the most part, grounded. And I have more energy to show up for my business. I have more energy to show up for my family. And Viktoriia and I just finished a training where we had like giving out. You're able to give out more and have more generosity to build the things that you want to build in your life if you manage your energy.
Yeah, well, that time, I always say you don't need to manage your time. You get to manage your energy. Once you have your energy, then you can execute whatever you plan to do. But if there is no energy, what's the point to plan to do something and then you just don't have energy to do it? So it's very, very, very important. And we are, yes, so much more than 3D. And I don't even know whether it's 10D or it's 100D we are, how much D we are. Thank you so much, Beth, for coming and sharing your wisdom and like emerging audience and me, and more of us like shamanic work and soul work. And I think it's so important to go back to our souls, not to our minds, because this is not our best friends. So thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
And I see you in the next episode. Bye bye. And also, if you're watching or listening this on podcast, please go to show notes, and there will be, even over here or over there, there will be links to all the information that we shared here in this show. All right, bye. And if you love this episode and you would love to see more of that, click the subscribe button to Purposeful Woman Podcast. And don't forget to text us to stay in tune with the Purposeful community for awesome tricks by texting to number +1 401 399 4105. And we will link descriptions in the episode to all of that we mentioned today. Bye. Turn your one day to day one with a purposeful day.